On April 27, 2011, one of the worst tornado outbreaks in U.S. history is barreling through the state of Alabama and has already claimed dozens of lives.
Get away from the door!
The magnitude of this super outbreak has caught everyone by surprise. So far, 43 tornadoes have struck.
There's the tornadoes. Keep back, keep driving. It's out on top of us.
Don't open the door yet. Please don't open the door yet.
Meteorologists James Spann and Jason Simpson scrambled to get the word out and to save lives. They tracked an EF4 that devastated the small town of Cordova, population 2,100. Now they're streaming live video of another EF4 approaching the city of Tuscaloosa, population 90,000. While Spann tries to convince his audience to take shelter, two young daredevils, Ryan Chandler and Nate Huguet, have ideas of their own.
I'd always wanted to chase a storm, so I posted a tweet about who wants to chase a storm with me. My friend Nate said I'm in.
Nobody should be driving. Everybody down there listening to me on radio in Tuscaloosa, stop now at the next exit, the next convenience store that will let you in.
At this point, it's still lighthearted and fun, and we're making jokes. As we get on 359, we start to be able to see the tornado.
If you know anybody that maybe doesn't have electricity and cannot watch us or listen to us, make a call. Let things huge. The camera, for those of you that are watching maybe for the first time, this is on top of the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse, and this thing is still southwest of downtown Tuscaloosa. Moving north.
That's southwest of downtown Tuscaloosa. There it is. You can see debris in the air.
Look at the debris. Look at the debris in that. Goodness gracious. This will be a day that will go down in state history, and all you can do is pray for those people.
The twister has been on the ground for close to half an hour.
There's a tornado right there. Guys, everybody go.
Wreaking havoc through the city suburbs.
It is right in there.
With smartphones and digital cameras, awestruck residents capture images of the tornado as it marches past.
Oh my God.
Towards the heart of downtown Tuscaloosa at McFarland and 15th Street.
Go.
This is a large, violent tornado coming up on downtown Tuscaloosa. Be in a safe place right now. So now we're starting to see the flashes.
There it freaking is. Oh my God. Okay, speed up.
It's out the passenger window, so of course Nate's filming and looking at it, and it's not until it's right on top of us that I actually get my first view of it.
Go, Chandler. Never in my life will I see this again.
I turn the car around so that I have the opportunity to see the storm out the front windshield.
Chandler, do not go back that way.
Nate, film it.
I am.
And it's right there in front of us.
There's two of them. We need to go that way. No, Chandler, go back.
We're fine.
Chandler, go the back. I'm not kidding.
This being my first opportunity to see the storm, I'm kind of like a moth to light at that point. I'm just gonna sit there, and he yelled at me and told me to go back. So we put the car in reverse down the wrong side of the interstate.
It's crossing the interstate right where we were. Oh my God. You can see huge debris. Oh my God. That thing is destroying everything.
If you have a child on the campus of the University of Alabama, call them and tell them now to go into a safe place. Let's pan over to the left.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
Are you kidding me?
Look at all the stuff flying around up there.
That's coming over near Interstate 359 in Skyland. Nobody should be out there. This is an extremely violent situation.
I had turned the TV on in Elmore County, and I knew where that storm was. I knew the direction it was heading, and I knew my baby was in that path.
I've got my mom, my brother, my sister, my family, my wife, my two boys, all living there, and now I'm not home to protect them.
Students living off campus in ground floor apartments take shelter in bathrooms where pipes in the walls and bathtubs offer protection.
Get back there!
Oh my God!
Holy, look at it, dude! Oh, get inside! It's fucking massive!
He texted me at 5:12 and he told me, he said, this thing is huge, I'm fine. And I texted him back and I said, so y'all are okay?
Oh, it's right outside. Oh my God!
The phone cut off at 5:13. I knew in that second she was gone.
Moments later, the tornado comes knocking at Will Caruso's door. Incredibly, like so many others, he has the presence of mind to keep recording with his smartphone.
It is exactly 5:14. The tornado is passing over us. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I love you guys. I love you guys. Holy Holy Lulu, hey! Lulu, got my goal! I got it!
We were all holding on to each other. I was holding on to 2 dogs and trying to pry myself between 2 walls and just doing whatever I could just not to get sucked up.
Oh, God. Windows are going out! The water's coming down. The floor's coming down.
A large tree behind the house fell on top of the roof, and beams from the attic and insulation and drywall came pouring down on top of us.
Oh, God.
The wind is tearing his house apart, but Will's smartphone is still recording.
Something fell on your roof, man. Still pretty windy out there, but... Oh, my God. Look at that. Holy. Oh, my God. Look at it.
After it passed, the backside of the house was just demolished, just crushed. All the windows are blown in, glass and drywall.
Tornado just passed over the house. The house is destroyed. Oh my God, everything is gone. There's got to be people trapped in there. We got to check on them.
The tornado's fury lasted only 15 to 20 seconds, but the damage it caused was apocalyptic, and it's not over yet. It's still on the ground, on a path towards its next victims.
We're gonna get hit by a tornado.
On April 27, 2011, the state of Alabama is under siege.
Oh my God!
That thing is destroying everything.
The super outbreak's latest tornado barreled through downtown Tuscaloosa. Now it's headed toward the nearby town of Holt, Alabama. Vietnam veteran and environmentalist John Wathan knows this storm is the real deal.
Here it is, boys and girls.
And our weatherman, James Spann, is normally cool, calm, collected. Nothing rattles this guy.
But I don't want to be so specific. I want everybody in the city limits of Tuscaloosa to stay sheltered.
I heard something in his voice I'd never heard before.
The urgency now is for those of you out here on the eastern side of town, over here toward Cottondale and Holt and Alberta City.
People can read me. I've been here since the Civil War. I'm old as dirt. I've been on television forever. They can read my body language. They can read my voice inflection. And they could see a change when I saw that live stream.
After hearing the edge in James Spann's voice, I took my camera bags, my guitar, I went up there to the storm room that I'd built and put everything inside, started getting the family inside.
Look at the fog coming up out of the valleys. This is spooky.
The creek was evaporating. The barometric pressure was dropping so fast that it was actually pulling moisture out of the creek.
Inside the vortex of a tornado, a vacuum effect occurs. At times when the atmospheric pressure drops and the updrafts are strong enough, it can suck up water from a river into the tornado's funnel. This phenomenon was captured by a weather camera in Springfield, Massachusetts in 2015.
Then it got dark outside. The wind went completely calm, but then it started howling and you could hear the roar coming.
Get down! Get down!
It dawned on me that, yeah, this was coming straight at me and I needed to be underground. That's where I cut it off and ran underground. That's a dumpster in the air right there. When I looked up over the camera and saw that, it's when this is not a viewfinder, this is real.
We're in the storm room. Listen.
And I got one bolt locked on the door when it started rattling.
There goes the house.
At one point, we could hear what I thought was the house leaving, but it was actually my neighbor's trailer. It picked his trailer up and slammed it up against the house and just demolished it. I feel my ears popping. The barometric pressure went so low that our ears were popping worse than any airplane ride I'd ever been on. I smell trees. All right, I think it's gone. Oh, crap! Oh, my God! See, that's right out this window here. My brother Johnny's lost every damn thing. We've got roof damage. Oh, my truck! Oh, God almighty!
Have you seen this lately?
No. No. Sorry. It was gone, man. Oh, my God. We were bloody lucky. That house was built right after Hurricane Katrina to withstand 200-mile-an-hour winds. I built it. My God, this son of a bitch. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! I don't like to watch this. Oh, my God!
The tornado shows no sign of letting up. It's growing in size and power and becoming more dangerous by the minute.
Holy
freaking huge, man. This is the storm right here that produced all of the damage in Tuscaloosa County coming up toward Birmingham. And again, it is a clear call to action. There it is right there.
This is going to turn out to be one of the biggest tornadoes that ever hit Alabama, I think.
The tornado is almost 2 kilometers wide. It's headed straight for Birmingham, the largest city in the state, and home to journalist Kim Cross.
When the Tuscaloosa tornado was coming toward Birmingham, it looked like it was on track to hit our house.
We have a large, violent tornado. There's no if, it's a matter of where and when.
After we saw that, our power flickered and died. And when that happens, not only do you lose TV, you lose your lights, you lose all of the whirring, clicking things that happen in a house, and it gets dead quiet. I follow James Spann's Twitter feed, and he tweeted a link to the live stream coverage, so we were able to watch TV on our phones. And at some point, he calls out our neighborhood.
And again, this thing is awfully close to Bessemer, Hueytown, Fairfield. If I've called out your neighborhood, you should be in a safe place.
That's when you think we could die in a few minutes.
Luckily, the EF4 never made it into the center of Birmingham. It changed course, missed the downtown area, and then headed straight to the suburbs.
We came out after the warning expired, and we looked around. There was not a leaf disturbed in our neighborhood, and we thought, well, was that it? And 7 miles away, Pleasant Grove was devastated.
Tornadoes are the Russian roulette of storms. No one can predict when or where they'll strike. And while Kim Cross and her family don't suffer damage or harm, not everyone was so lucky. On April 27, 2011, a record-breaking number of destructive long-track tornadoes strike Alabama. The storm is on a rampage, destroying several $1 billion of property and taking scores of lives. Since the early hours of the morning, meteorologists James Spann and Jason Simpson have been on the air trying to save lives.
The sole reason we're here is to provide lead time for people to go to a safe place of a storm that can kill you. In the case of April 27th, it didn't stop for hours and hours and hours and hours. It was like bullets from hell.
We've got to get through this event so we don't have any more loss of life.
It's now late afternoon, and as the sun lowers on the horizon, the heat that helped fuel the twisters finally begins to dissipate in some parts of the state. And Spann's TV station begins to broadcast damage reports. Storm spotters John Oldshoe and Ben Greer have made it back to Tuscaloosa, their hometown.
It's an obstacle course of overturned cars, upside down trucks, and overturned 18-wheelers. I am finally relieved to get a text from my wife. She says they are fine, don't worry about it.
I looked to see all this devastation,
John starts sending a live feedback to Spain for the first coverage of Tuscaloosa of the damage it's done.
So that is a live stream coming from John Oldshoe. John is on the scene of that severe damage down in Tuscaloosa.
He tells me, Ben, hop on outside, start taking pictures now. I get out and I realize that about 600 yards from me is where my sister's house used to be. There's nothing there. I pick up my phone and I text my mother. Within 10 seconds, I get a reply, she's fine. She's on her way here.
Just a few blocks away, amateur storm chasers Ryan Chandler and Nate Huguet try to get back home to their families.
I can't even recognize this place.
We see the damage, we see the houses, but what's actually happened a mile down the road, you have no idea.
Light poles down on the road. This thing can't focus quick enough.
So as we pull up behind the storm, a woman comes running up to the vehicle and we tell her to get in.
Come on. Get in, get in. Come on.
Oh my God, my dog.
Are you okay? Hey, are people okay?
I don't know. I can't. Oh my God, my dog dead. Oh my God. Keep on.
We gotta, like there's tons of people out there. I know.
Oh my God.
So at that point, we get out and start digging people out of their houses.
For those living beyond the city limits, finding loved ones is not always easy. The storm knocked down power lines, destroyed relay stations, and communication towers.
We kept calling and couldn't get a response, you know, and that wasn't like him not to answer his phone.
I called many times the hospital, the student health center, Ferguson Center, all of the places that they were telling online and on the news for you to call to locate your student.
So that's when we got in the car and drove to Tuscaloosa.
Pratt City, a bedroom community of Birmingham, has also been hit. That's where Alter lives, but he was lucky. He was at work when the tornado slammed into his neighborhood.
I got a call from a female friend. She says that the storm was in the area. Then I got another call from another one of my neighbors. He was like, you might want to try to get home. I said, man, it's looking like a third world country over here.
Alter's good friend, filmmaker Tig Knight, filmed as they surveyed the damage.
Power lines down, debris everywhere.
Devastation.
Yeah, people just everywhere. Siding thrown everywhere, everything was in the yard. A neighbor's house, I could see directly into his kitchen. And walk in the house and I could just look up and I could see the sky just like I can see it right now. It was almost like it just had a sunroof. The top half portion, the roof was completely gone.
Everything was in disarray and it was devastating. And like I said, knowing where different things were placed and located, and now it's just completely gone. It was your bedroom.
It really didn't sink in until you just had time to sit down and think about it.
Probably felt good that you wasn't home.
Yeah, exactly. If I was at home, I was going to either be in one or two places. It was going to be one in my bedroom or two downstairs in the basement. And my bedroom, two of the walls that face outside were actually gone. So, you know, it could have just came, couldn't be here today, so, you know.
What's going through your mind like right now?
I don't know. Rebuild or move?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
That's the question right there. Major question.
To stay and rebuild, or leave and begin a new life somewhere else, perhaps even in a safer place? That was the question on a lot of people's minds that day. An unprecedented tornado outbreak strikes the southern United States on April 27, 2011. The hardest hit are the residents of Alabama, where over 50 tornadoes have touched down so far and wreaked havoc. Carrie Kirby and her husband Hal found shelter in Billy Little's bunker, but now they're stuck.
The power lines have flowed over the door here.
Over our door right here?
Over that door. We stuck.
So 3 or 4 of them put their shoulders up against the door and shoved until they got a big enough crack that Hal could stick his head out the door. Billy said, "What do you see, Hal?" And he looked around and he said, "Nothing, Billy. I don't see anything. It's all gone." They all got the telephone pole off the door, and we came out, and there were just piles of debris everywhere, metal twisted everywhere. We looked over there, and the black and white horse that had been in this field right behind us was sticking out the top of one of the chicken houses that was laying on the ground, and he was flailing his head around. And I just couldn't look at that anymore, so we went over towards Billy and Nancy's house to look at what was left over there. His house had been stone, rock, brick, and the walls inside were tongue and groove walls, and there was nothing left that you could recognize in that pile of debris except a rock fireplace sticking up in the middle of it. There wasn't really an option to pick up and move. You just take one day at a time and dig in and build it back.
Further south, the Stevens drive to Tuscaloosa to search for their son William, who has not reached out to them in over 3 hours.
It looked like somebody had come in and dropped a bomb on the place, because you could not drive down McFarland Boulevard.
Will had decided to ride out the storm with a childhood friend, Danielle Downs, and her roommate, Lauren Brown.
The house was surrounded by a lot of trees, and it took the trees down, and one come down and just took the whole house, just centered the house. When they found him, he had one under one arm, one under the other. He was on top of both of them.
Yeah, he was laying over top of them, and they was holding hands. And Lauren's
nails had broken
nail
off into
print,
his hand.
yeah, had broken off into his hand.
She had squeezed his hand so tight that her fingernails broke off in his hand.
Lauren's mother, Ashley Mims, found her daughter in a hospital morgue.
She had pieces of debris in her hair, a broken Xbox game, dirt and stuff like that, grass, leaves, mixed in her curly hair. And she was just asleep, is what it looked like.
In all, the death toll was 252, a number that haunts James Spann to this day.
That number will be etched in my mind until the day I die, because that's the death toll. That's the only number I'm focused on. History is going to judge what I did on the Green Wall, but the number of people that died lets me know that there was a lot of things we didn't do right. And yet at the same time, a lot of people that lived, there were some things we did right.
I believe, like he does, that what we do is a service. We want to serve the communities that we love. So when we looked at each other about 11 o'clock that night, when the final tornado warning had ended and we signed off the air, there was nothing to say. There was just a heaviness, there was grief, there was sadness, because this was our state.
Many records were broken that day. The frequency of the tornadoes, the distance they traveled, and their wind speeds. And while much about tornadoes remains a mystery, modern research can increase warning lead times using computer models and ground observations. Because as global temperatures continue to rise, it's likely that the frequency of super outbreaks will also continue to rise. And meteorologists like James Spann can do little more than prepare for the next catastrophe and find new ways to save more lives.
Often in the weather enterprise, we're very guilty of being narcissistic, and we thump our chest, we talk about we save lives and we're so good. Well, we didn't save 252 in my state that day. I won't accept that, and I'm very driven to find out what went wrong. Let's get in there and fix it. The physical science was excellent. The social science, behavioral science, we have to learn.